Mary Jane Ezenwa is a certified healthcare professional and she's a program officer, trainer, facilitator, coach, and mentor. She's been shaping careers of young professionals within her region and also across the globe. And she hails from Nigeria but currently resides in Oldbury, England, in the UK. And before we get into the conversation, I would like to take a moment to thank my mentee, Stephen Robin, for connecting me with Mary Jane. And as we prepare to delve into our conversation on the topic at hand, leadership, problem solving, and relationships, here is an exciting twist. Let me tickle the brain of our guest first. So, Mary Jane, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few.
Really?
And I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you are ready, let's dive in.
I hope I'm not in trouble. Okay.
You won't be in trouble. That is assured. And here comes my first word. Curiosity.
Okay. Me. I am just too curious. I am. If people would say, if curiosity was a person. Wonder, yes, but I want to know a bit of everything. I think that works.
Nice. Next is invention.
Invention will be creativity for me.
And moving to the next one, future.
Possibilities. I in fact, I like to target the yet to be realized possibilities.
Nice. Book.
Knowledge.
Movie.
Entertainment.
Food.
Taste. I love food. Seeing anything edible, the first thing that comes to my head is, looks good. It will taste good. Oh, this doesn't look good. It might not taste good. So taste. I love food.
Fair enough. Next one is place. Place.
Adventure.
And name other than Mary Jane.
Name for me would be an identity.
Awesome. Animal.
Animal. Diversity. Diversity. And the reason I say that is because I when I see any animal, I see unity. Unity in diversity. It's awesome how they don't get to fight every time. I mean, they do, in their own word, in their own way, but you don't get to see that every time. So they just have this way of being unified. So for me, it's unity in diversity. Maybe not one word though, but diversity, then unity in diversity.
Nice. And the last one is world.
The world for me would be dream. And I'd like to explain a bit. Before now, the world wasn't like this.
Yeah.
The world, America was not America, India was not India. So, but people had that dream and then it came to pass. So it's just able to tell me that no matter how big your dream is, because the world is big, it is massive. So no matter how big your dream is, it is achievable. So long as it is smart, it is achievable. So yes, for me, world dream.
Awesome. And thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round so sportively.
Thank you.
And folks, welcome.
I was sincerely hoping I wouldn't get in trouble.
So I promised I didn't get you into trouble because I asked something which is answerable in public and I kept my word.
Yeah.
And folks, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host, Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also to your career. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Mary Jane, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice. Super excited to have you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Nice. Let's get started. Maybe we'll start with your success mantra, as in the top 3 things that have attributed to your success so far in terms of becoming a mentor and a coach that people are looking up to you.
3 things I would say. The first would be mindset. The second would be continuous learning. And the third will be grit. I'll explain in a few words. So for mindsets, it's my mindset. I believe that nobody owes you anything. Like nobody. I do not mean to say that you do not need man to succeed in destiny. No, because Even God needs man to eventualize his plans, bring them to fulfillment. You need man to get to your destiny. But what I mean when I said mindset, and then nobody owes you anything, is that you have to do the work. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to have the mindset to achieve. It is in doing, working, and anticipating. It is in your effort. It is your effort, rather, that men see, appreciate, and then lend a helping hand. So mindset. And then the next one would be continuous learning. The world is evolving. I mean, it keeps evolving every time. And then staying stagnant will do you no good. I mean, it was from computers to phones to cars, and now we are in the tech world. I mean, AI, artificial intelligence, it blows my mind away. I do not think that we were expecting that, and then boom, it came. So we have to be able, to adapt, to learn, relearn, unlearn. And then for grit, I love the word grit so much because grit is a word that is all encompassing. In grit, you have perseverance, you have passion, you have effort, you have work. You just have everything in grit. It is a thread that helps, it builds you, it knits you. So yes, for me, I'll say the three things that have brought me so far would be mindset, continuous learning, and then grit.
Awesome. I think you summarized it so well. Now let's also talk about your career journey and the most pivotal moments that led to your current role as a healthcare professional and also a leader.
Well, that's one particularly. It's a bit, not a bit. It is very personal to me. I wanted to become a medical doctor because growing up, I see movies, I see people who go to the hospital and they're not taken care of because they're not attended to because they do not have the money to pay for their bills. And I thought to myself, why not make a difference? And I started out in that journey, got admission as a medical student, but life happened and they said there were too many. They shuffled us into various departments. I struggled in school. I was going from one department to another because they kept rejecting us. Just a long story short, after my youth service, there's something they call the youth service in Nigeria. So after my youth service, I delved into the non-governmental organization. And that was pivotal for me. It was the turning point. And I thought to myself, I wanted to help, mainly to help people get free from their sicknesses and ailments and diseases. But I could also help in a different venture. So I went into the non-governmental organization, and being a program officer for 5 years, I have worked with various minds, various beneficiaries. I have helped people in businesses. I have helped people in their career. I have helped people in their families. And I thought to myself, if I had become a medical doctor, I am not saying I didn't wish, I loved to be a medical doctor. But if I had become a medical doctor, right, I would have just been helping in the capacity of helping people get well. But I am in a different space and I am helping people in various capacity.
Mm-hmm.
That is why one mantra for me would be to, when you get stuck at some point on your journey to life, you can change the plan, but not the goal. The goal for me, my goal is to help, selfless service. I'm still doing that, just in a different capacity and in a broader capacity. So when you get stuck, change the plan, but not the goal.
Awesome. Change the plan, but not the goal. And I see that you are a compassionate individual with a lot of empathy. I think that reflects in your values, and which is good to know. Now, let's talk about the leadership versus this decision making. And leadership often involves making some tough decisions. Like, can you describe a challenging decision you have had to make in your career and the lessons learned from it?
Naveen, you do not want to ask me this question because there is one that always stands out for me. I'll try to tackle this question as subtle as I can. So, in my first years of my journey in the NGO space, I worked with a particular organization as a program officer for a 5-year project or a 3-year project. While I was on the project, it was helping beneficiaries who were sick, and then the funding was coming from abroad, to the country. When I started that organization, when I started working in the organization, I realized that not everything due to the beneficiaries were giving them. And of course, I had to work that way for a few times. So it doesn't seem like you're just coming to the organization. I had to learn. But when I realized at some point that these ropes are not working for me, I do not like the process, and we have to, I had to do something. I had to change that narrative because people had been coming and doing that and doing that. It has to change in somebody's time. It was difficult. It was difficult telling finance that as a program officer you have the right to finance. That was what I was doing then, seeing all the patients and all that. You have to give them what is due them. And I had to change the narrative. At some point I was being made jest of, you're taking all the money. And yes, these people are indigent. They need this money a lot more than we do. So what is it about? It was difficult. I struggled a lot with it, but I was able to pull through. And then the lesson I learned from that was whenever you are able to make a change, do it. Because you might not pass through that way again. The satisfaction alone from the thank yous and the, oh, wow, we didn't know we were entitled to something like this, So when you are able to make a difference, do it, because you might not pass through that way again. And I'd also like to say that it is not the world that will change for us to be better. No, it is us that will change for the world to be a better place to live in.
Wow. Simply impressive, Mary Jane. I think you wanted to change the narrative and you did that with your tenacity, so which is really commendable. Now let's move on with our next question, and this is more related to the problem solving aspect. Again, problem solving is one of the most coveted skills, especially in the 21st century. And could you share an example of a complex problem you have encountered other than the current situation? Is there anything else other than what you have shared so far? What strategies did you use to address it successfully?
Okay, yeah. So I remember one time that I led a project. We were trained by Microsoft on the Microsoft Power Platform. There are 5 of the Microsoft Power Platform, and we were to work on the virtual agent. And we had built our project, and that was like the day to the presentation. We were almost done, and then one of our bosses flowing from Lagos, Nigeria to Benin. And he says, this thing will not work because there is a certain subscription that you do not have. The presentation was just the next day, for crying out loud. How would we have done that? Something that took us 6 days to build. Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. Everybody got frustrated. It was annoying. It was frustrating. But one good thing is when you work with people that has the same mindset, the next thing that you want to bring in, first of all, is your empathy skills. I had to tell them, because I was the project leader, I had to tell them that I know it's difficult, but we have to do something. We have to present something. So we had to do, there was empathy, there was effective communication, there was time, togetherness, and then there was structured praise. Nothing beats structured praise, no matter how badly the person does it. Tell the person that the person has done well, while you give a constructive feedback on the long run. So that was what helped us. And suffice it to say that we had just a few hours in that day and that night, but we came out first. Our presentation came out first. And then by virtue of that, 2 persons from our group were given a job with one company. And as a leader, I am like, I know we did this together and you're expecting me to be at the forefront. You guys could go because I know that the world is a big place full of opportunity. Also.
Yeah. World is full of opportunities. I concur with you.
Hmm.
And let's move ahead and talk about again another dimension, which is about family strengthening, right? Which is also another crucial aspect of personal and community well-being. Many a times people try to overlook their families in the chasing success, but that is not right. So we would like to hear from you what are some effective strategies or practices individuals and families can implement to build stronger and healthier relationships. Right now, I think you are away from your family and you are in the United Kingdom, whereas your family must be in Nigeria. So probably you can share your own story in terms of how you are strengthening the bond with your family.
Okay, so the first thing is empathy and effective communication. I tell people, anyone who cares to listen, that having soft skills is very crucial. But you see, empathy and effective communication, they are in concomitance. They are a thread that you know, a needle and thread that you use to pave the way for the others. So while they are behind. Okay. So empathy is simply knowing the pain points. And the thing is, empathy is used in all spheres of life. In business, there's something they call the design thinking when you want to solve a problem or you want to build a solution. The first thing, 5 steps of design thinking, the first thing is empathy. That's in business now. And then when you come to healthcare, empathy. To be a doctor, to be a nurse, to be a social worker, you need empathy. You need to understand that your patients are going through pain. You need, in business, I said that already. In mentoring, in facilitating, in relationship empathy, you have to understand that there is a pain point that this person is coming from, and you have to know that. And then when you know the pain points, you are able to communicate effectively. And then people don't spend quality time together. And that is a problem. For lack of time, I leave that. But you see, there is empathy, there is effective communication, there is quality time, spending quality time with your family, and then setting clear boundaries. And the last I would want to talk about is structured praise. Structured praise.
Yeah. Got it. And double clicking on the communication part and extending it a little bit to the overall soft skills aspect, can you also share a memorable success story or a transformative moment where the application of soft skills made a significant difference in a healthcare setting or elsewhere, maybe in your coaching setting also? Anyway.
Okay, there are lots of experiences, but there's one I like to always talk about. So while I was working with Clowns Without Borders, a South African NGO, I was doing the family strengthening relationship. There, in the process, I came across a girl who was 16 at that time, and sometimes we have to share the classes. The adults go a separate way, the teens are in a separate way. So while we're having that conversation, one of them said, this girl said, my mom is just my mother. She just brought me to the world. She's not my friend. We don't have any other sort of relationship. The only relationship we have is that she brought me to the world, and I was shocked. I had to go further. And then she says that her mom is so abusive that when her mom abuses her, she goes to the river to cry. Now, for a child who goes to the river to cry, the mom doesn't ask, where have you been all the time? All the while, they were far apart. The father was not around, so she was literally living on her own. And I know how parents crave to have a relationship with their children. So she began making friends outside. They were giving her all the things she needed. They were giving her a time, spending time with her. They were listening to her. They were not judging her. And then she became as open as a book. Suffice it to say that this girl, at age 16, was already planning to travel to Italy through the Mediterranean Sea and the desert. And her parents did not know about it.
Oh my
so
God.
It took soft skills. It would have been disastrous.
Yeah.
because I had worked with a certain organization, one of these international organizations, about people, migrants who travel via the Mediterranean Sea. It's not a good experience. So I had to speak with her. I gave her the time that she needed, and I was not judgmental. I was able to cut her slacks, from everything that she was saying, from all the experiences and horrible things that she has gone through, horrible things, and nobody knew about it. But we're able to use soft skills, effective communication, basically, empathy, and the time, not being judgmental, critical problem solving, to bring her together with her mother. And she's doing really well now.
Wow, that's a great story, and in fact, heart-moving story. So good that your soft skills have helped her join or unite with her family, and I think that's a great testament to your work. And this has been incredible conversation, Mary Jane.
Funny enough, soft skills are so essential but a lot of people neglect. A lot of people ignore it. When you say somebody has a bad character, what are you talking about? The person does not have soft skills. Because I want to display certain character, and I think to myself, if I were to be in this person's shoes, how would I feel when this thing happens to me, or when this thing is done to me? You immediately retrace your steps. You immediately rephrase your words, and that's where empathy comes in. But a lot of persons just neglect it.
Awesome. And I'm loving this conversation. And Mary Jane, it's time to add some more excitement to the episode. So as we dive into a series of intriguing rapid fire questions to spice up the episode further. So if you are ready, I'll kick off second rapid fire round.
Okay, let's do this.
Comes the first question. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
It should say, or it would say rather, purpose is the reason life is given.
Wow. So if you have a life, you have a purpose, in simple terms, right? Yeah. Great. And what is one thing that you are really bad at that you wish you were better at?
No way, Nathan. No way. Okay, I wish I was better playing a musical instrument, the piano precisely, and I wish I was better with my voice, singing seriously. Music is beautiful. Music just has a way of connecting you with your maker. It has a way of connecting you with people. It has a way of addressing emotional concerns. It just has a way of bringing people together. Little wonder it is said that he who sings well prays twice. So and I particularly admire people who are able to make beautiful melodies. So yes, I'd like to be better playing the piano. Well,
fair enough. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
Resilient.
Resilient. And what is your favorite thing about living in the current time, the 21st generation, 21st century?
That has got to be the incredible, jaw-dropping advancement of technology and communication. It is mind-blowing, especially with the invention of AI. Say no more. Say no more. That will be it for me.
Good one.
That will be it for me.
Yeah, good one. And if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Superpowers. If I could have any superpower, I'll choose healing, the healing power. Being able to alleviate sufferings, curing diseases, and helping people just feel better will be an incredible and fulfilling way to make a positive impact in the world.
Awesome. And here comes the last one out of rapid fire. What will be the fantasy gadget or an electronic gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
I have thought about this a lot. Good question. So for me, it will be an environmentally friendly, highly effective, solar-powered device that could provide clean water from any source, so that I am able help in solving the global issues, the lack of clean water.
Awesome. I love the thought process and salute to you. Really, I like the answer. This is really good.
Thank you.
So with that, let's shift back to the mainstream. And what will be your one piece of advice to those aspiring to make big in their careers?
My one piece of advice to those people who want to be big in their careers will be, sincerely, that the ladder to success is greasy and slippery. So you will need grit and extra packs of efforts and dedicated details to dedicated attention, or attention to details, dedicated attention to details to climb to your apex. Reason is because it is not easy anywhere. So anybody who says it is easy, run as swiftly and as fast as your legs can carry you from that person, because you need all the experiences you can garner on your way to success. You need the falls, you need the stand-ups, you need the comebacks, you need the betrayals, you need the unfortunately we're not able to go on with this process, you need the congratulatory messages, you need everything, because you need a story to tell. I tell you, it is easier to speak to people, targeting three things. I call them the three H's. It is easier to speak with people when you have experiences. You are able to speak to their heads, able to speak to their hearts, and you're able to swing their hands into action when you have experiences, okay? And then you need all the stories on your way, because there is no success. I repeat, there is no success without a story. And little wonder it is called a success story.
Awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and all the nuggets that you have shared are golden nuggets. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform, the TGV?
It is amazing. I like to use Timesis. I like to say either it is Fanta blooming stick. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, this is a global platform. People get to see your work. People get to listen to you. Okay, and being a global platform, you are sure to get feedbacks that will guide you and improve your journey, to the next level. It's awesome. I am privileged to be given this opportunity, and I want to thank you and the viewers out there. This is a great opportunity, and I do not take it for granted. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and pleasure to have you. And really, this is one of the great conversations that I had, and you have spoken from your heart and mind.
Happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's really good. And on that note, I would also like to thank Stephen Robin once again for connecting us. And I would love to invite you again in the future for sure, Mary Jane. And thank you for all the valuable insights as well.
I look forward to doing this again. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Yeah, and pleasure to host you. And friends, that was our episode with Mary Jane Ezenwa. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, here we have a quick request. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast from wherever you have tuned in, because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes. And if you have enjoyed this conversation, please share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues or family members who would also like the Guiding Voice. Spread the knowledge and help others grow like you. And your support means a lot, because it helps us create more content for you and our community. And thank you so much in advance for your support. Let's learn together on this journey. Let's learn from global experts. And now let's hop into the trivia segment. And today's trivia is about soft skills. Mary Jane has emphasized a lot on the importance of soft skills, communication, empathy. And I thought I would extend a few more facts related to soft skills. First and foremost is the definition of soft skills. Soft skills, also known as interpersonal skills or people skills, refer to a person's ability to interact effectively with others and navigate social situations. And they complement technical or the hard skills. And second fact is that soft skills are critical for career success. According to a survey by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, and whose short form is NACE, 91% of the employers believe that soft skills are essential when evaluating job candidates. And third fact is about soft skills and the relation between relationship. So effective leadership, soft skills, the relationship between, third fact is about the relationship between soft skills and the leadership. Effective leadership often depends more on the soft skills rather than on the technical expertise. In fact, Mary Jane has shared a lot of real time examples of how she was able to solve problems pertaining to people around her. So, this is how leaders who excel in areas like empathy and communication tend to have more engaged and motivated teams. So, folks, what is your take on soft skills? How soft skills have helped you to deal with difficult situations, or how to scale up the greasy ladder? And this is the first time I came across the term greasy ladder. I really loved the analogy what Mary Jane has shared. And in fact, I think it is going to stay with me for long. And folks, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of our awesome community. And we would love to hear from you. Share your ideas, feedback, and also guest speaker suggestions either through social media or email. And our email address is theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com. And let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host, Navin Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only our lives but also our careers. So stay connected as we journey together. And until next time, take care, folks. Stay inspired. And remember, the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another fantastic speaker. Thank you.
Namaste.